Okay, so as this flight begins, there is tension. There is absolute tension. On the one hand, because of the James Franco issue. On the other hand, Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, is he under the influence? Is she suspicious of being under the influence? But that always causes problems between the two. Let's bring in our guest, forensic psychiatrist, trial expert, witness, and columnist, Dr. Carole Lieberman. Great to see you both. Dr. Carole Lieberman, talk to me about that. You know, they've got to do love scenes, sex scenes, but they're married. We've seen some relationships last through the years, but others not so much. What are your thoughts about the tension on this flight focused around Franco?
Well, you know, I think it's more about him suspecting Amber, not trusting Amber, whether it's James Franco or Elon Musk. You know, he knew that she was looking for the next best thing, that she was looking for the next best thing. But, you know, in Hollywood, it really is actors really, you know, get into these relationships when they're cast together. And then when they leave the set, you know, and they don't have lines or they don't have a script to follow, the relationships often fall apart. And but again, it was Johnny met her on the set of The Rum Diary, and that was how he fell under her spell, because it was really about the character that she played, Chenault, and the fact that he was really, you know, connected to this film, and I think he fell in love with the character, and then later he found out what Amber Heard was all about.
That's interesting. Dr. Carole Lieberman, your thoughts about Johnny Depp and his state of mind on that plane, that he's under the influence of something, right? We know that he's admitted so much. There's a discrepancy about whether he was drinking or not. He's saying he's taking pills. Right. Your thoughts about that and how that adds to the tension between these two?
Well, you know, yes, he said he was taking OxyContin, and he admits to that. He says he doesn't recall taking alcohol, but it seemed like, you know, he was sort of denying that he did. He didn't think he did. But, you know, this is really their trick that they let on from the beginning, Amber Heard's team, legal team, because their whole thing is to say that he was blacked out and he didn't know all these horrible things that he did to Amber on the plane, and at other times during their relationship. Now, you know, how do you refute someone saying, well, you were blacked out and you did this, this, and this, and you just don't remember? I mean, one way to refute it is, on the plane in any case, there were witnesses. So if they saw him do these things or they didn't see him do these things, you know, that is one way to tell. And I don't think that that testimony has come out yet saying that that they did witness him doing these things.
And Dr. Carole Lieberman, your thoughts about the difference in someone's mind when they are drunk versus when they're on drug X or drug Y? Is there a big difference? And would someone who uses them all the time understand those differences?
I think that he has, you know, he's had a lot of experience with these different kinds of drugs and alcohol and so on. And I think he has somewhat of a sense of each of them. But, you know, you can get to a point where whether you've combined things or, you know, taken more than something than usual, you could theoretically not remember or not perceive it correctly. You know, that's why it comes back to witnesses, or it comes back to her recording. She supposedly recorded him during this flight, as she has basically throughout their life.
All right, Dr. Carole, I'll give you the first crack at the howling. What's your take on it? And then we'll just go around the horn on that, because it was a big part of their case.
Yes, he was supposed to be howling. I mean, he sounds very unhappy. He sounds like an animal, but he sounds like a wounded animal, as I think he was from all of the abuse that she has been giving him, verbal abuse as well as, of course, physical abuse.
Dr. Carole Lieberman, your thoughts. This is an important moment because she's saying this is the first time he's being physical, so brazen that he's just doing it in front of everyone.
Well, you know, I think that's one of the most interesting parts of this, because it's not so much about, you know, oh, so is he going to break up with me because he thinks I'm having sex with my co-stars. It's not about that, or did he hurt me? It's about that he did this in front of people. So why that's so upsetting to her is because I think that the main reason she got into this relationship with him, not that he isn't attractive and sexy and intelligent and charming and all of these other things, but I think her primary thing was she was looking for him. She wanted to be on his arm. She wanted to be get better roles. She wanted to, be lifted up in Hollywood by being his partner. And so that's why she is so upset about him doing this in front of other people. It's ruining the image. How could he do this? If he did this, which I'm not buying 100%, but if he did this, why that shouldn't be the main thing that you're worried about, that he did it in front of other people.
Dr. Carole Lieberman, this is not a huge, it's a jet, all of that, but it's a private jet, so it's not this huge commercial thing where Johnny Depp is in the back in row 55 and someone else is in the front and you're not going to see what's happening. So what do you make of Keenan Wyatt's testimony here?
Well, first of all, I don't recall always means I'm not going to tell you. Sometimes it is, a way of slithering out of answering, but sometimes you don't really recall. Sometimes you're not sure, and so you don't want to say the wrong thing, not because you're lying, you're not sure that you recall correctly. But, I think the other thing that he said, like he didn't see him, he kicking her or whatever. Excuse me. He didn't see him do that. I think this is going to come down to, Amber has Savannah on the plane. That could be her ace in the hole. In other words, not necessarily that Johnny really did do something, but does Amber have enough, can Amber get Savannah to lie? If he didn't do something, and I'm not saying that she is going to lie or did lie or whatever, but that could be, since she was on the plane, Amber's way of trying to get something in that maybe didn't happen.
Lamore, this is, I think Dr. Lieberman is 1,000% correct here. Because Dr. Carole Lieberman, thank you so much. Appreciate your valuable time tonight.